Everybody, as Emily kindly introduced me, I'm Alex from Unique Network. You have heard from me last year, brought in some presents. There will be some at the end of this presentation, so stick around. They're much better this year. We're speaking about the limitations of NFT infrastructure as we see it. About a year and a half ago, NFTs came out of a very, very small niche and started becoming mainstream. And that's why we have today multiple talks about people attacking it from different sides. And there's many more projects even in our ecosystem, let alone the big wide world. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of projects working on it. But most of them are working on the old infrastructure, which most of you probably know the problems of EVM, Ethereum, and so on. The speed, of course, but the scale also. Just one important number we discovered recently. In EVM chains, the maximum you can get is 875 is the theoretical maximum of NFTs you can make in one block. On a Substrate chain, so far, we are at 140,000. Okay? That's how many NFTs you can make in one block. Okay? Efficiency is something that all technical people care about a lot, and we just built new stuff that's much more efficient than the old one, and then we figure out what to do with it. But there are some people here in the audience that kind of really take that stuff seriously, so the ecological impact of stuff we do is enormous. So you can hear about it tomorrow in the morning from a very big expert on it. But another number for comparison. On Ethereum, to mint an NFT, you spend 90-something kilograms of CO2. Okay? It's an enormous number. On our chain, you spend about 4 micrograms, which is a human breath. Okay? So these limitations are things that got us in the first place to work on creating the next generation of NFT infrastructure that allows all these kinds of cool use cases we were hearing about from the previous few speakers. And well, let me tell you, best is yet to come. So what we have found in our 3 years almost working on this stuff is there are 3 big hurdles to the mass adoption of NFTs and we are here to solve. Anybody helping us do it, please welcome. We're very happy to cooperate on that. The space is too big, the problems are too hard. So the first problem is you need to build it for them to come. So the first problem is in the builder's world. Same Electric Capital reports, I believe Bjorn mentioned earlier, has the number of blockchain developers at about 18,000 at the end of last year. Yet there are 27 million software developers in the world. So we are just a drop in a bucket yet. And the biggest problem there is it is hard to learn blockchain stuff for any developer, even if it's easy, even if they're smart and it's easy for them to get in. To actually solve all the security issues, it takes a long time. So it's very hard to build blockchain-based solution by blockchain developers. We need to give them tools to be able to do it to the 27 million people, the developers, to build stuff. Okay, so first thing we did, we made a bunch of white label tools. So a marketplace we built, we made it white label. You can do it you can make the NFT marketplace. So Kristen, you can make it in one day. Okay, It's extremely simple. Then we built, and we are announcing this in July. Okay, you hear it here first. We're announcing 2 SDKs that allow. The first one is takes all the methods from the chain and abstracts it out through REST API, so any JavaScript developer can develop any application on the blockchain without needing to know anything about that blockchain, which makes it easy for a lot of people. And the second one is actually for custom things, so there's always going to be people who want to do more, so the second one is for that. And then, of course, there are APIs into a million of different things, like Nicolas said, on Unity, whole bunch of other things. So these are the things that we need to do. We are doing, we have done, and everybody kind of developing any NFT stuff that needs to happen to have any kind of chance of having a mass adoption. Now, in terms of users, we have been speaking about this a lot of times. So what NBA Top Shots pioneered and showed to the world how well it works when you hide the blockchain under the hood and you don't have to have people kind of look at it and work with wallets and stuff. So we came up with sponsoring palette. Greg, our CTO, is going to talk about it tomorrow, but anybody can use it. Other parachains, please use it, because it is the way to abstract out the blockchain in the best possible way to appeal to mass audiences. Then we come into the Ethereum kinds of problems that it's costly to use this stuff. So many people have complained that to give NFT as a gift, you have to spend I don't know how much money, which is ridiculous. So the sponsorship again and high-powered chains enable free transactions for users, which everybody likes free delivery, right? So that's the whole point. And then last week at NFT NYC, there's like, I don't know, there's 15,000 people there doing all kinds of NFT projects, and let me tell you, most of them are useless. Okay, we need more projects, and this is on a project side, and that's what the users are demanding, that NFT actually have a utility, that it has a specific, even if it's just the membership in a community, that community has to have an off-chain real-world sense to it. So that needs to be fan tokens, not just to be bought, but actually have the benefits and make them be much more integrated with whatever they're fans of. And then last but not least is the functionality. What I like to say with a little bit of ignorance is that the current, that on Ethereum, you can basically make a file, mint a file, sell the file, and then maybe resell the file, okay? That's what people are doing. 99% of it, with the few notable exceptions. I like what Snarkart is doing, and there are projects that kind of try to kind of have built-in functionality. But again, smart contracts are not an ideal way to do it. They can finish the job to customize things, but they don't have enough power. Now, with Substrate, as probably most of you know, you can build custom stuff specialized for certain things, right? And that's what we've been doing the last 3 years. So we created NFT palette that natively mints NFTs at a rate of 140,000 per block. Okay, you can't really do that elsewhere, can you? I haven't seen that, because what Substrate allows you to do is to create a specialized thing that goes into the blockchain, and you can make you can make it be that good, okay, and that's scalable. For the fun of it, you can create refungible tokens created to those NFTs and fractionalize the NFTs also natively, also at the range of 100,000 per or more per block. Okay, these are the figures that are a dream in the EVM world. Very fun and revolutionary thing is nesting. Bruno has been preaching it a lot. We made it, and we'll have a lot of things to do with it together, but our nesting palette is done. If somebody wants it, you can have it. It's open source, but where you take and create an NFT that owns different things, fungible or refungible tokens, or non-fungible tokens. And funny play around that is how deep of layers we can go of nesting. It's pretty much like Inception movie, how deep into the dream you can go to. So far we are at about 4 or maybe 5. We're not daring to go deeper. We'll see how further it goes. Multi-resource, as I mentioned, that NFT can own different things. Scheduling is something Parity has done. We have done it for NFTs so that you can have that egg hatching that's not off-chain, but it's actually on-chain, that you can have subscriptions for a game. So you can have, as I mentioned, the sponsorship. You can have people play a game for free, as they are accustomed to. Freemium gaming is a big thing. But then you can have them play for free for a month or 2 or 3 or whatever you want, and then you can have a subscription that you're going to have to pay to enter. Okay, so you need scheduling for that. We've been talking with some people here about enterprises, and they always have this, rights management thing because they're hierarchical organizations. Enterprises are, so they need the rights management that's much better than just. You have an owner, he can do everything. No, you need much more than that. And actually, there's a project I know, the video on Moonbeam, that does some cool stuff with the video on that. Live Tree is called. Okay, UI responsiveness, that's something that developers will appreciate. That's something that we can do a lot at. Greg may talk about it tomorrow. And then last but not least, of course, interoperability. Most of us here are EVM compatible. We have some awesome bridges to Ethereum, and we will certainly work with them to have NFTs flow. But as soon as we have the next XCM live, we'll start working on integrating all the NFTs in the ecosystem. So whether it is Statement, StateMine, or Parachain palettes or Parachain solutions for that, that's something that, it will take a while because there's a lot of us, okay? There's a lot of Parachains, a lot of stuff, but within, I think, 6 months, we'll have all the NFTs flow throughout the Polkadot easily and surely. So what all of this innovation brings is ability for people to dream a little bit more practically and work on the next generation of NFT use cases, which is something that I think Polkadot will master and will be the leader in. The few examples here, I think real estate is something that it's going to take a very long time to do, but metaverse real estate, you can play with all these use cases and kind of have fun with it. Ticketing is the next thing where you can actually integrate it with the fan management, which is a much deeper and much better utility than just selling tickets as NFTs. Identity is a big kind of vision kind of thing for me, because identity in 10, 15, 20 years should be all on blockchain, should be an NFT, because you cannot have the fungible token represent yourself, right? You're unique. Just needs to be non-transferable, okay? And last but not least, the blockchain gaming that has to be freemium and has to be much more powerful. I guess Nicholas had a kind of good things to add to that, okay? So those are things we have actually done, all of them, okay? They're live. And to prove it to you, we have a fun and valuable gift for everybody in the Polkadot community. Last year, we distributed for Polkadot Decoded NFT collection we called Cello Bricks. A lot of people had a lot of fun with them. because they look fun. So this year we decided, and they were claimed very quickly in a matter of a day. We have decided to up the ante and offer 100,000 chests that will hold the items for the first game that is being developed now for Cellebrix. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is actually much bigger. If you remember, Substrate were the first NFT collection in the Polkadot ecosystem. We released them in August 2020. And the whole idea was to give tribute to CryptoPunks, which for me and for us are kind of the first real art on blockchain and are hence for that very, very valuable symbol of everything. So what we're doing now is we're buying back one Substrate punk that community will decide on which one. And we're fractionalizing it into 100,000 pieces and in one block, remember? That's an entry ticket that gives you a right for a CryptoPunk. Okay, we bought a CryptoPunk 3042 Monique here. We called it Monique. And it's coming to Kusama first. And we're going to fractionalize that into tens of thousands of pieces and give it to all of you. Okay, so anybody in the Polkadot ecosystem or not, doesn't matter, you can, it can have MetaMask, can own a fraction of a CryptoPunk, can use it as an avatar, can use it for whatever CryptoPunks can be used for. So our estimate is that when we're done with that, there's going to be more owners of CryptoPunks in Polkadot ecosystem than there are in Ethereum. I think that in itself is a kind of cool thing for all of us to kind of rally around, but that kind of wraps up my presentation. Happy to take questions, Emily, if there are any.
There are.
Oh, shit. Okay.
There are no shortage of questions. Yes, give it up for Alexander. Okay, they're highly technical, or some of them, let's say. So where is the NFT file stored in Unique? Is it on-chain or still IPFS?
Right now it's on IPFS. We store a lot of metadata, though. The metadata is on-chain. Okay, that's the big difference. We're working with a number of actually storage providers. That's the pain area for everybody. So that is a problem to be solved and will be solved by many.
Wonderful. And do you know of an ENS comparable NFTs yet? Do you know of ENS?
What are those three letters? You probably don't know.
I'm assuming it's Ethereum name service comparable, so like Polkadot name service comparable.
Okay. No, we don't have yet actually the project for that. There was one that wanted to do it, but yeah, that's definitely something we should do.
Wonderful. And when PFTs, partially fungible tokens, as in an element can be fungible but with nested capabilities to create NFT properties?
I think you can do that. I think you have to ask Greg. Actually, that's a very deep thing. I haven't mastered how far did we take the nesting, but I think that the owner needs to be an NFT. So in that sense, okay. It's a very, very deep thing that, it hasn't become a thing yet.
Right. Perfect. And last but not least, any integrations with Moonsama NFT?
Of course. I mean, as I said, integrations is something that all of us here, parachains and so on, we're working on their stuff very hard. We're going live now. Basically, next week is the TGE and so on. And now we can start focusing on integrations and all of that. We did a few on Kusama. So the next thing we focus on is integrations of everything. With XCMP kind of next generation coming, we can it doesn't make sense to do it now because a lot of things will change. So I suspect that thing will be done in this summer, so we can move on with integrations. And our goal is to have everybody very interoperable and move things around. And we're going to contribute a lot to that effort.